Well, it's finally here, the much anticipated Rane One MK2, and in this video I wanted to go over 5 of my favorite features of this new controller and why it might be my favorite 2-channel Serato controller on the market. So let's just jump right in. First and foremost, the biggest change from the Rane One MK1 to the MK2 has to be the hardware effects. It was probably my biggest gripe on the Rane One MK1 because it only had software effects. Now you get those great hardware effects that we've seen in the Rane Performer, as well as the mixers, the Rane 70 and 72. And although you only see 6 buttons here, you actually get dozens of effects that you can actually swap these out for really easily, and they sound great too. Classic echo out, sounds super clean, really easy to get through. If you've used hardware effects on a Rane product in the last few years, this will be really easy to get used to. And I'm happy to have these hardware effects on a controller like the Rane One. My next favorite new feature of this controller has to be the stem effects. We saw this on the Rane Performer and I loved it on there. I wish more Serato compatible hardware had it, and it's super easy to get to. So all you have to do is hit shift, hit the Q button, and now your EQs have turned into actual stem controls. So I can turn down the drums, the melody, and then the highs would be the vocal. Really nice, really handy, especially when you only want to take out a little bit of a certain part of a stem instead of just basic on and off. Having the control of having it in EQ is well appreciated. Next would have to be the fact that this acapella and instrumental buttons on the hardware can actually have the stem echo out on it as well, not just the regular on and off. I can actually dive into the menu just like this, and then switch it to primary. And this is probably my preferred way of using these buttons. I never really liked using them in the past because it was just, you know, that instant on and off. Having that little echo out just makes it a lot better sounding in the mix. The next new feature I really love about this controller is the new stem roll. So to access that, all I have to do is hit roll twice, and now I can roll certain parts of the stem. So I have my 4 stem parts here. Say I just wanted to roll the drums. Or maybe I wanted to do the melody part. Or maybe just the acapella. Super handy. You can get really creative with it, and you can make it latch, or you can make it momentary. So I love the flexibility of having that, and I also have access to that on this 3rd pad row right here. So if I want to, you know, still have my cue points or stems here, or my sampler, I can access it in multiple ways, which is really nice. And the 5th feature that I love about this controller is this sensor button here that I really don't use on much hardware. You can actually change it to be silent cue, which is a super handy feature to have. So again, we just jump into the menu by clicking here. You can jump down to silent cue, swap sensor, yes. Now I can just hit it and it'll start blinking. Now I can just drop whenever. Super easy, super handy, especially when you just want to drop on the one by just hitting a cue point instead of having to dive into different pad modes. To get to silent cue, it's there in one button, which is much appreciated. And finally, I guess this is kind of like a bonus feature, but something that I really love about the Rane One MK2 has to be the platters. While I did like the platters on the Rane Performer with the screens, I do like these platters a bit more, or a lot more, because they're a lot like the platters on the Rane 12, and I was a big fan of those, and these give more of a traditional vinyl feel. And what's even great about this is that Rane also included a small washer or set of washers that you can put on the platters to give it extra backspin, because I know some people were having issues with that and wanting it a little bit more slippery than what is the standard, you know, kind of ride on the platters. So having the ability to have a quicker backspin and a more dramatic backspin, and being able to customize it and change it is just a nice option to have on a controller like this with motorized platters. So those are my 5 favorite features of the Rane One Mark II with a little bonus one in there. The Rane One Mark II should be going on sale soon at a retail price of $14.99, which is the same exact price as the Rane One Mark I launched at, which I think is a great deal for something that has a full metal construction, motorized platters, hardware effects. This is basically all you need for a controller if you're looking for a turntable-like feel for Serato DJ. My full in-depth review of this controller will be dropping on Friday, where I'll go in depth about all the features of this controller. I just wanted to give an overview of my favorite 5 new features of this thing. I'm really enjoying this a lot, and I think that anyone that picks this up will really enjoy it as well. So if you're looking for a more in-depth review, check out that video dropping on Friday. And of course, if you enjoyed this DJ content, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. And shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. If you're looking for more additional DJ content, be sure to check me out there. And shout out to my patrons. I'll put them right here. And of course, if you're looking for more DJ related videos, be sure to click on one of those right here. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.